Right, I've got to confess, I do comedy, but tonight I've been specifically asked to do comedy about history, right? And I don't know much about history. I'm very much like Sam Cooke in that respect. So I did a bit of research. One of the first things that jumped out to me, was there was a quote by Walter Benjamin. He said, "History is written by the victors." That's bollocks. I read a lot of history books and not one of them was written by a victor. There are a lot of Martins. Doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? History was written by the Martins. But while I was reading these history books, I asked myself a question. I said, why do we study history? Why do we learn about history? And I think part of the reason we learn about history is so that we can learn lessons about the past. We can learn how to live better lives in the future. Case in point, the Great Fire of London. Right? It's after the Great Fire of London that we learned to install fire doors in all buildings, and a law was passed insisting that we no longer build cities out of newspaper and petrol. But the way we teach history is a strange thing. I don't think we teach in schools, I don't think we teach the important stuff, the valuable stuff, the stuff that we can use. We learn a lot of dates, don't we? We learn a lot of dates, battles. So you look like an intelligent man. The Battle of Hastings. Everybody learns when the Battle of Hastings was. When was the Battle of Hastings? 1066. 1066. You see? This man knows it. Sir, when was the Battle of Hastings?
1066.
You see? Everybody's. When was the Battle of Hastings?
1066.
I rest my case. Everybody knows when the Battle of Hastings was. My history teacher had a weird method of teaching history, a strange thing. Used mnemonics. Do you all know what mnemonics are?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Some of you don't. Fuck you. I can't be bothered to explain. He used to use mnemonics, and they were the most difficult and obscure mnemonics. I've got one here, written down. He said, an apple, just to explain, this is to help me remember the names of all of the Egyptian pharaohs. That's useful. He said, an apple that thinks heavy thoughts and thinks all apples sometimes think, apparently has really serious ramifications mentally. I can't even remember the mnemonic. Right? For the record, I know the names of no pharaohs. Here's another one. Aardvarks love pushing tubers over cars. That's one from the Salvador Dali School of Mnemonics. And this one, the mayor of Casterbridge dunks wet biscuits in soil to satisfy the cravings of hordes of screaming Englishmen who seek enlightenment beyond the immediate tenets of the gospel, according to a quiet neighbour. I made that one up. But I think it proves my point. There are people who love history, though. Who likes history here? Oh, big fans. I was actually a bit worried when I came out. I thought, what if there's a lot of silence? I didn't know how funny any of this stuff was, and I thought, if there is a lot of silence, you can just pretend you're back in the Harold Pinter play. But yeah, some people love history. Some people like it so much that they try to live it. Have we got any battle reenactors in? You lie. You lie. Have you ever met a battle reenactor? It's a weird moment, isn't it? When they tell you, it's like they're coming out. They're basically putting all their cards on the table and saying, look, mate, I'm going to level with you. I'm a bit weird. Right? And I think, I don't know this for sure, but I think the rule of thumb generally is that the further back they go, the weirder they are. Right? I don't have a massive issue with people. If I met a guy who, say, like, wears a lot of combat gear, he drives a Jeep, that kind of thing, he watched a lot of Vietnam films, I wouldn't have a real problem with that guy. I wouldn't want to share a hotel room with him. Right? He'd probably stay up all night talking to his knives. But I would be wary of a person that felt it was okay to meet other men in a field on a Sunday morning wearing a suit of armour. That's pretty weird to me. I was actually invited to a battle reenactment. I didn't go, which is exactly what I would have done had I been invited to a battle. So that was pretty accurate. And you know, everyone wants to be the hero. When they go to battle reenactments, they want to be the hero. They want to wield the broadsword and the shield and stand there swinging it around and chopping people down. And nobody ever wants to be the guy that stands in the field going, I don't want to die. The guy who soils his chainmail, right? Which is a horrible image, isn't it? It's like putting a Cadbury's cream egg to a cheese grater. But yeah, everybody wants to be the victor, don't they? Which, now that I hear myself say it out loud, I see Walter Benjamin makes more sense. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to me. I've been Rob Hughes. Good night.
For those of you who just walked in, we are making a TV show at the moment, so if you cannot talk through the act, we're going to have a little act, which is going to be me, and then we're going to have a little break, and then you can just have a